Right, let's start today's session. So this is the first session of your .NET demo. Okay. So in this demo session, I'm going to discuss what subjects I'm going to cover in .NET Core platform. Okay, fine. So today, I'll give you complete introduction of .NET Core and what subjects are involved in this .NET Core package. So will be discussed clearly each and every one. Okay. So this course is completely .NET Core. Yes. So in this .NET Core, first let me introduce what subjects I'm going to cover in this .NET Core package. So let me cover what subjects I'm going to cover. Let me discuss that. So first subject is C#.NET, which I'm going to cover. Next, ASP.NET Core. In this ASP.NET Core, MVC, Entity Framework. Can you please mute from your side? If you have any question, then you can ask me. Otherwise, you can mute your audio from your side. MVC, Entity Framework, then next Web API. So these three comes into ASP.NET Core platform. Then next SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. And next UI Basics, User Interface Technologies, UI Basics. So this is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and then Bootstrap. Okay, this is. So total these in ASP.NET, 3 frameworks will be covered. MVC, Entity Framework, Web API, along with UI Basics. In programming language is C#.NET and database tool is Microsoft SQL Server. So these are the subjects which I'm going to cover in .NET Core package. So let's try to understand each and every subject purpose is what. First, let's talk about our main subject is C#.NET. So in this, we are going to learn complete coding styles. Like in real-time implementation, you know that very well how much code is important here. So coding principles, how to write the logic for application development, we are going to learn in C#.NET. So what is C#.NET means? C#.NET is a programming language. C#.NET is a programming language, which is generally any programming language which is used to write coding part for the application development, which is used to write coding part for the application development. Okay, like this. C#.NET is a programming language which is used to write coding part for the application development. So in entire .NET learning process, wherever we write some logic, that logic is completely belongs to a C#.NET programming language only. So you must and should have the strong knowledge in C#.NET before going to develop web applications using ASP.NET platform with Entity Framework, MVC, and Web API frameworks. So without having knowledge of C#.NET, you can't continue, you can't extend your application development with ASP.NET. So to learn ASP.NET Core, MVC, Entity Framework, Web API, C#.NET is the prerequisite programming language. It must. Without having C#.NET knowledge, you can't go with ASP.NET. Okay. And SQL Server, you can learn any point of time. It's completely backend, means database tool. So no prerequisite subjects required for SQL Server learning point of view. So UI basics are I'm including in the ASP.NET Core implementation only. So let's cover in ASP.NET Core. What is ASP.NET here? So in ASP.NET, we are going to learn about three frameworks: MVC, Entity Framework, Web API, that also. So for example, ASP.NET. What is ASP.NET here? ASP.NET stands for Active Server Page. Okay. So it is a server-side technology. ASP.NET is a server-side technology. ASP.NET is a server-side technology. Server-side technology, we can call it as. So using ASP.NET, we can develop web applications. Yes, using ASP.NET, what kind of application development is possible means web applications. What is web application? Very simple. The application which will provide the services over the web. The services over the web is called web application. Okay, is called web application. The application which will provide the services over the web is called web application. So ASP.NET stands for Active Server Page. ASP.NET is a server-side technology. Using ASP.NET, we can develop web applications. The application which will provide services over the web is called web application. But nowadays, how the people are developing web applications means using a framework called MVC. It's a design pattern, MVC. So MVC means Model View Controller. In ASP.NET development, we will follow MVC architecture, Model View Controller architecture, sir. This is MVC architecture. What is MVC? And each and every layer is important here. So in MVC, right, MVC is a design pattern. MVC is a design pattern to develop the web applications. In MVC design pattern, M stands for model, V stands for view, C stands for controller. Okay, yes. So model, view, controller. So model is nothing but data access layer. It is completely data access layer. View is nothing but presentation layer. Controller is nothing but business access layer. Right? Yes. Model means data access layer. View is nothing but presentation layer. Controller is nothing but business access layer. Very simple, sir. In MVT design pattern, in a web application development, all together need to be involved. Means database layer, presentation layer, what you are going to see on the screen for the first time when we open any website, that is view. And controller, that means action method. So some actions need to be takes place. So model point of view, that means to manage data access layer, there is a subject called SQL Server. It is database related. So model code is nothing but complete database related code we are going to manage here. That is subject, that model managing purpose, we need to learn the subject called SQL Server. SQL Server is the database tool, which is the product of Microsoft again. So SQL Server is used to design model or data access layer. And view is nothing but presentation layer. View is nothing but what for the first time when we enter any website or web page, what we are going to see on the screen. So that is called view. So view purpose, we are going to learn the subject called UI basics, user interfaces, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, and so on. Controller is nothing but action methods. So C#.NET is required for learning controller process. So ultimately in ASP.NET web development purpose, if you want to start begin or web applications development using ASP.NET, These subjects are prerequisite subject. SQL Server is mandatory because we need to manage our database. You have to go with the design of the web page or websites by using basic UI technologies, that is UI basics. Okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap through. Only design, that means front end. And also we need to write some logic because some actions need to be performed. That action purpose, we need to write logic with C#.NET. So C#.NET programming language is required. So this is MVC pattern, sir. Okay. See, next in .NET Core web development, so any programmer must and should have the knowledge on front-end development as well as back-end development. Both are required. Front-end development and back-end development. See, front-end development purpose, we are going to learn only one subject, that is UI basics. And back-end development purpose, we need to learn total 3 things. One is the programming language. The programming language. That is what? C#.NET. Yes, the programming language, C#.NET. Next one is the frameworks. Yes, frameworks also compulsory required. That frameworks are MVC, Entity Framework, EF means Entity Framework, and then Web API. So these are the frameworks. And finally, the database. These are all under comes into backend database. So database purpose, we need to learn what? SQL Server. So backend development purpose, we need to learn 3 things. One programming language, 3 frameworks, and 1 database tool like SQL Server. Front-end development point of view, we need to focus on UI basics, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. When we start ASP.NET, first after completion of ASP.NET introduction, first 1 week to 10 days, we will be focused on UI basics because every web developer need to understand what are the things present in UI technologies. Then anyway, we will start first initially C#.NET only because without having the knowledge of C#.NET, we can't move towards ASP.NET or any other things. First main subject is C# only. Okay, so C#.NET we are going to teach. First 45 days to 50 working days, we will focus on C#.NET, and remaining things we will focus on complete ASP.NET Core web development. And SQL Server also will take 1 month time to complete this. So total duration like C#, ASP.NET Core with MVC, Entity Framework, Web API, with SQL Server and basics of UI technologies, total subjects, it will take time duration is 4 months duration, sir. 4 months duration compulsory. Only C#, 45 days to 50 working days. SQL Server, 1 month compulsory. And remaining total time we are going to spend with ASP.NET Core, MVC, Entity Framework, Web API, sir. Major time we will spend on ASP.NET development. So this is the course duration. Okay. Yes, Windows Forms we will cover in C#.NET. So Windows Forms with ADO.NET also. Look at this. In C#.NET, we are going to cover with console application, Windows Forms application with ADO.NET. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. There is a technical issue. Yeah, fine. I think are you people getting the screen and all? It's fine. Now the thing is here, total duration of this course is 4 months, I said. So in this 4 months, first 45 days, our focus is on completely C#. And then next 1 month is SQL Server. Then total final duration, remaining days, we will focus on ASP.NET Core Web Development, right? Right. So this is ASP.NET Model View Control, and front end means only UI basics we are going to learn. Back end means the programming language, frameworks, and databases. So in this three frameworks, MVC we understand. M for model, B for view, C for controller. Okay, fine. What about entity frameworks are here? Yes. So entity framework is also one of the framework. So what is the entity framework? I'll tell you, sir. So in C#.NET, entity framework code is important in web development. Entity framework. Entity framework. So entity framework is one of the framework. It is an object. It is an object relational mapper. It is an object relational mapper. Relational mapper. Object relational mappers. Entity framework is one of the framework. It is an object relational mapper. Object relational mapper means ORM, we can say that. ORM in the sense object relational mapper framework it is. So entity framework is an object relational mapper ORM framework, that is for .NET applications. For .NET applications. So what we can do here using entity framework through means very simple. Normally, as a programmer, if you want to create any database, okay, normally we need to create what? Queries, SQL queries, right? SQL queries means SQL Server queries. If you want to create any database, we use normal SQL Server queries we can create. But without writing raw SQL statements, okay, just for writing, by writing C#.NET code, that is objects code, do you want to make a database creation or database tables? Then we use this entity framework tool. So entity framework is an object relational mapper framework for .NET applications. If we use entity framework without writing raw SQL statements, SQL statements, we can generate the database code or database statements. So by using object relational mapper, by simply writing C#.NET logics and C#.NET objects through, we can generate completely SQL statements. So normally, if you want to generate SQL statements, we need to write raw SQL statements, no? Like create table name, something like that. But without writing raw SQL statements, if we apply entity framework, only C#.NET logic through automatically SQL Server statements will be generated. And when we do migrate against the database, automatically tables will be created in the database. So this is very simple. So what entity framework simplifies that .NET code by providing mapping to the C#.NET classes, and it is related to the database tables only. So entity framework enables developers to interact with the database using C#.NET classes and objects, not directly passing raw SQL statements through. This is the main advantage of entity framework. So this is a part of ASP.NET. In the ASP.NET development, we are going to use entity framework for doing some database relation task only. And what is Web API? So Web API is very, very important tool. So every .NET developer must have into their resume, that is one of the subject, that is Web API, I can say that. So Web API is nothing but what? Actually, it is an API. So API in the sense application programming interface, sir. API is nothing but what? Application programming interface. So web API. So API is a software actually. API stands for application programming interface. Application programming interface. Normally, what is the use of API? See, simple. For example, in real time, okay, in our day-to-day activities generally, we are going to do transactions through many applications, right? For example, Swiggy app you can take, or any app, Flipkart or Amazon like that, right? So whenever you are doing transactions through Amazon or Flipkart for buying a product, so you can browse the product, and after checking the details and specification of the product, we need to do some make the payment. For payment option purpose, we need to select some certain bank, what bank account you have. So Flipkart application must and should communicate with your concerned banking application like SBI or ICICI or Access or something. So the application to application is communication should be there while doing transaction, right? So that transaction, that communication, who is going to provide means web API. So that's what it is, application programming interface. So what is exactly API means? API is a software tool. API is a software tool which enable the application which enable the application to communicate with the other applications. This is compulsory required, sir, in web development especially. So do you want to provide the services to your customers through your application? Your application must and should take request and response from other application also. So here example is Flipkart application must and should communicate with the banking application for making transactions successfully. At the same time, banking application also should get the request from Flipkart app. The bank application should give response to the Flipkart app. So in between these two applications, two or more applications, so who is the mediatory service tool means API tool. So API is a software tool which enable the application to communicate with other applications. Without API, no transaction can be fulfilled in real time. So for making interaction between two or more applications in ASP.NET web development, we use web API tool. So this is also one of the framework, web API. So entity framework, web API, and MVC. Total 3 frameworks I'm going to teach you in ASP.NET Core web development. Okay. And SQL Server is one of the database tool, because SQL Server is important. Every programmer must have the knowledge on database. Okay. So that's what I'm going to focus SQL Server. Why SQL Server? Why not other database tools like Oracle, MS SQL, MySQL, or PostgreSQL, SQLite? Means .NET is obviously the product of Microsoft. Even SQL Server is also a product of Microsoft. So most of the .NET real-time applications on SQL Server development database only. That's the reason we need to focus on SQL Server. Okay, fine. And for your kind information, SQL Server is not only basics. Complete SQL Server I'm going to teach you. So even after completion of this demo lecture, so obviously my team will send complete content of .NET Core, which I'm going to cover. You can feel free to cross-check over there what syllabus content I included in this, all the subjects related. Okay, don't forget that, so that you will get clarity how much content I'm going to deliver in SQL Server. In SQL Server also basic programming, advanced programming like triggers, indexers, schemas, stored procedures, constraints, joins. Okay, many big concepts will be covered in SQL Server also. So that means we will become good at SQL Server also in .NET Core course. So one language, C#.NET, 3 frameworks, MVC Entity Framework, Web API along with ASP.NET Core development, one database tool, SQL Server, and UI basics mandatory. So in this UI basics, HTML and CSS are basic UI technologies, including JS. Using HTML through, we can develop normal web pages, right? But if you go with CSS, we can add some extra styling to the HTML web pages. Styling means it's a cascading style sheet. Do you want to give more styling or more look and feel for your web page? Then CSS is required, cascading style sheet. And JavaScript generally can be used for validations, means user entered inputs are correct format or not. We need to validate them by using JavaScript only. So HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript are the basic UI technologies. And where it comes to jQuery and Bootstrap or advanced UI technologies, jQuery is an extension of JavaScript and Bootstrap is the combination of CSS and JavaScript libraries. Both libraries are under comes into Bootstrap only. Okay, so this is the main .NET Core, which subjects I'm going to cover, and each subject purpose I clearly mentioned. Okay, so C#.NET is a programming language, ASP.NET is a server-side technology, and you can develop web applications using ASP.NET. Totally in ASP.NET, we are going to learn 3 frameworks like MVC and Entity Framework and Web API. So in this, we are going to learn front-end development and back-end development process. So UI basics for front-end development, back-end development, 3 things are there: 1 language, 3 frameworks, and database tool SQL Server. So SQL Server is a relational database management system where we can manage our data and store our data permanently in a separate storage. So this is basic introduction, what subject I am going to cover in .NET Core. Okay, fine. Let's begin. What is .NET? Okay, what is .NET? See, sir, first of all, .NET is a framework which is designed and developed by Microsoft Corporation. Yes, .NET is a framework which is designed and developed by Microsoft Corporation. So initially, .NET was announced by Bill Gates in the year of 2000. And then the first version of .NET was released in the year of 2002. From 2002 onwards, we are using .NET. But what is the main difference between .NET Framework and .NET Core Framework? For your kind information, in our session, I'm going to cover completely core syllabus only, not framework syllabus. Okay, both of them are core framework as well as framework syllabus. Both are there. Okay. Yes, recorded videos. I will tell you that, sir. Total C#.NET and ASP.NET Core, all this subject material PDF, I will hand over it to you through Gmail. And every day session is going to be recorded. The recorded video also we will be uploaded to your Google Drive. That is for lifetime access. Okay. So along with the live sessions, PDF material and video lectures also, we will be sent to your Google Drive. No doubt at all. Everything. Now coming to this, we are going to teach here completely .NET Core syllabus. Okay. So earlier, so for the first version of .NET was released in the year of 2002. No? Yes. From 2002 to 2016. Okay. So .NET framework was there actually, completely .NET framework. So people may ask that doubt here, what is the difference between .NET framework and .NET Core framework? Very simple, sir. I'm saying that the first version of .NET was available in the year of 2002. From 2002 to 2016, there was only .NET framework, which is platform dependent style. Platform dependent means which can be run on only Windows platform, Windows operating system, which can be run on only Windows operating system. Okay. So that is platform dependent style operating system, Windows operating system. Right, sir? So from .NET 2002 to 2016, platform dependent. So Microsoft announced from 2016 to till today, like 2025. So this is completely we are using .NET Core framework, .NET Core, which makes platform dependent style. Platform independent, sorry, independent. Independent means which can be run on all operating systems, including Windows. So independent style it is. Okay. Independent, which is platform dependent style. From 2002 to 2016, .NET framework only it was there, which makes platform dependent. So once you write code in which platform like Windows operating system, it can be run on only Windows. It cannot suitable to run on Unix or Linux and other operating system when we use .NET framework. Because due to market competition, especially from Java point of view, already Java from the beginning, it was platform independent, no? Which can run on all operating system. So Microsoft decided that from 2016 onwards, they were introduced a .NET Core platform, means the people who are going to make their platform independent applications, then we can use .NET Core version. Core means which can run on any operating system like Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, anywhere. It's a platform independent style. So you can choose while development of any application, there are two templates are there. Okay. So it will show you clearly in the Visual Studio 2022. It's a editor tool actually. Visual Studio 2022 is a editor tool. So that editor tool through we are going to develop all .NET application. While developing .NET applications, it will show you either do you want to go with the .NET framework, you can select that template, or else do you want to go with the .NET Core framework template, you can go with this one only. Both of them are there. But I'm saying that our lecture completely belongs to core version only, sir. It is that too. You may anybody ask you what version of .NET you are going to learn means so .NET Core 8 version. So I'm going to teach you .NET 8 or .NET Core 8, right? So this is C# .NET Core, ASP.NET Core, everything core version only I'm going to teach you, not framework. If you want, you can go with framework. Coding style and everything is completely same, but only the reason difference is it makes platform dependent style and which makes platform independent style only, core platform in the sense. Okay. So this is the basic introduction. This is the first demo lecture. So this is the information related to our content. And after completion of this demo lecture, our team will send completed .NET content. Okay, everything particulars, uh, this session particulars and all. Along with you will find the video link also. You can feel free to attend 3 to 4 demos more. Okay, except this demo tomorrow or next 3 to 4 demos you can continue. So after completion of demo lectures only, so you can decide whether do you wish to continue my lectures. You can continue by enrolling for this course. Okay, so don't miss the demo so that you will get clarity. Only one session if you attend, so you might not get clarity. So this is from my side today, just a basic information which I pass. So this is first day. The tomorrow session will be continue from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. 1 hour session will be there from tomorrow onwards. And I will cover complete .NET introduction. So .NET story and .NET execution process, what versions of .NET framework and core versions, how it is, what software is really required to develop .NET application, everything I'll include in the tomorrow session. So that's all from my side. Now it's your turn. So if you have any questions regarding this .NET core and which these are the subjects related questions, now you can feel free to ask me. I am ready to give answer. Even you can type your question in the chat box also so that I can read it and I can reply you. Go ahead, please, if you have any questions. Any questions from anyone? You please go ahead. Yeah. Sir, any placement assistance? Placement assistance means if anything is there, our HR team will post the links, okay? But we will not give any guarantee, only assistance will be there. So even once your enrollment process is over, we have a .NET WhatsApp group I am maintaining as an admin, so that you will also become a member of that group. So any assistance or links and all. So when I get notice, so obviously you will be able to get notified in the WhatsApp group only. No, Angular and TypeScript not included. Angular JS, React JS, little bit I include in the ASP.NET Core development if needed, not fully. How many projects not? Okay, so project oriented through only we will cover in ASP.NET Core. But at the end of the .NET course, so compulsory we will include project development with ASP.NET Core architecture only, so that you will get hands-on experience, real-time coding experience. Right, go ahead, any more still. I request you only the thing is, please attend regular demos, even next 3-4 demos, so that you will get clarity. After that, you can decide. Don't miss the session in between. Tomorrow, if you miss again, day after tomorrow, if you come means, that's waste of time. You can't understand what I'm telling you. So continuity is important. So tomorrow also, you can feel free to join in the same link at 7 p.m. exactly, so that I'll give again brief introduction tomorrow first about this explained today. Next, we will continue from here onwards. Okay. So every recorded video we will upload to your Google Drive. First 4 to 5 demo videos, our team uploaded in YouTube also. Very soon, tomorrow onwards, you will get a demo link, YouTube link also. Feel free to watch it over there. Future of .NET is there, obviously. Okay. Course duration, I said already, 4 months compulsory it's required. To complete this C#, ASP.NET Core, MVC, Entity Framework, Web API, SQL Server, along with UI basics, 4 months it will take. And somebody looking for only C#.NET, this course is up to 2 months, 45 days to 50 working days, C#.NET only if you are looking. That's also possible, no problem. But I recommend complete .NET Core. That's better to get a job. So your resume will be weight if you include all these things in your resume. So .NET job market is good always, and Java also. So only the thing is you should get the proper skills. Practice is required and skills are required. Okay, fine. So thanks for attending this session. Course duration, I said no. Yeah, 4 months. Thank you for attending the session. So don't miss from tomorrow at least 3 to 4 next demos so that we'll get clarity. So then you can decide. Okay. Have a nice time. See you tomorrow.